Cavs. We're breaking down Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Don't use that word. Don't use that word, break, Skeets.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm already bummed about this. LeBron James, though, scored a game-high and a finals career-high 44, but the Warriors dominated the overtime period. They earned the hard-fought 108-100 Game 1 victory in the finals. Great win. We are going to break it down. But first, yes, the Cavaliers, their worst fears are confirmed. All-star point guard Kyrie Irving will miss the rest of these finals. The team announced today that Irving has a fractured left kneecap. The injury requires 3 to 4 months of rehabilitation after the surgery. You see him there collapsing, sort of diving for the loose ball that he sort of let go there with about 2 minutes left in overtime. Grabbed the knee, hobbled back to the locker room. You saw him talk to reporters after the game. We were hoping for the best, but you could sort of tell with his head down there and almost choking up, holding back the tears, that it likely wasn't going to be good news. And again, this is the worst news for the Cavs.
And it's so bad for a number of reasons, especially for him. Coming out and performing the way he did, fighting through injury this entire postseason, and then fighting on the defensive end, which I'm sure he heard all the ridicule about not being able to be a good defensive player, coming out with a great couple blocks on Steph Curry. He was sensational in this game, and then to go down that way just must be so disheartening for him, and then for his team, obviously, because of the way they're playing LeBron James. He would have had to have been so great. They would have needed him to get by because he creates easily. Even if you play LeBron one-on-one, he doesn't need a double to go over to LeBron to create. He can create in any situation.
Coming into this series, there was some question about whether or not he was 100% healthy. I think he answered that in the first half. He was playing pretty well.
He looked great.
He looked fantastic. So for this injury to happen now and the fact that he's been ruled out for the rest of the playoffs, their task was already difficult for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, it's not insurmountable. It's not impossible because they still have LeBron James, but it is such an unlikely task now for them to be able to get out of this series.
Yeah, and look, we're going to get to that. I think you said it, though, Tess. It's even worse, this news today, because it would have been one thing if he had looked hobbled and he wasn't playing all that well. This was the best we'd seen Kyrie Irving play in a long time.
Yeah.
It really was. It was the healthiest he had looked in a long time. He had that explosiveness there, picking up a steal, going the fast break, finishing with that sexy left hand. Jumper was falling at times. Defensively, he was locked in.
Yep.
4 steals. You said a couple of blocks there. A game-saving block, really.
Yeah, this one was his left middle finger. I mean, he barely got a finger on that, but to trail Steph, to be able to contain Steph. I know, Steph went off for his 26, but still, I mean, Kyrie was phenomenal. Have we seen him that good on the defensive end? I can't remember the last time.
Team USA, that was the most locked in he's been prior to that. I mean, this season he's certainly improved his effort and his energy, but that game last night was perhaps his best defensive performance of his career at this point.
So really, realistically, do the Cavs stand any chance of winning 4 of the next 6 games against this dominant Warriors team without Kyrie Irving? Because Matthew Dellavedova is now going to come into the starting lineup.
Yeah, Lee mentioned, you said they have LeBron.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 4 out of the next 6 is possible. But at the same time, they got through the Eastern Conference with a banged-up Kyrie.
Yeah.
Coming into this series, because Steve Kerr is so committed to playing LeBron one-on-one, you got to have guys who can take their guy off the dribble, and Kyrie is that guy. If you don't have him now, how can you possibly beat them? I just don't see it happen.
LeBron can't win the championship by himself. He can't. He tried to do that in 2007, and it didn't work out. What was different is that this year with the Cavs, he had Kyrie Irving. If LeBron is Batman, he had a bit of a Robin there. And it was like, okay, he gets some help. It's a possibility. But now without him, without no Robin, it's, again, one guy just can't do it. And especially, and we're going to get to it, the way the Warriors have decided to play LeBron, I think wisely so, and just going ahead, playing one-on-one, and try and take away everyone else. I just don't know how they can do it.
I mean, the Warriors' defense all season has been fantastic, and last night it was just as we expected, the way they played LeBron. But that's the thing. Now LeBron doesn't really have that other guy who can create for himself. Yeah. J.R. Smith, he can hit a shot. Iman Shumpert, we know he can as well. Dellavedova has been good during the playoffs. But to see this team perform to that level now for 4 games out of possibly 6 is just so unlikely, given just how good Golden State has been all season long. I mean, they'll make adjustments if they need to. Their offense is great. Their defense is great. LeBron must be looking around right now just just thinking, what can he do to somehow pull a rabbit out of a hat?
You wished for JR to have one big game before the series with Kyrie there. Now you got to wish for a couple.
You do.
Yeah.
And I guess the silver lining, if you want to look at a silver lining, is now you know what you're getting here. Now you know you're not going to have a banged-up Kyrie in Game 2, so you know what you're running with. As a team, you're running out of the locker room. You know Dellavedova is going to be starting as your point guard. And he's fared well in his 2 starts. Obviously, that was a different time against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
They're 2-0 with Delly in there. They're 4-0 when Delly's played 30-plus minutes in the postseason.
There's your silver lining, I guess.
Yeah, so, hey, he's going to grind against Curry. But, Curry is up for the challenge to be alongside Delly and not to allow Delly a 17-point game like he had against the Hawks. Curry's going to be there.
Yeah.
As much as Curry's ridiculed for his defense, I think he'll hang with Delly no problem.